All right, so we are nearing the end here. So offline, we finished the rocket silo research. Took an age to complete because it was 1,000 research it had to do. So we're going to go ahead and build that silo. And what will it needs 1,000 concrete, and it needs a whole bunch of other things. 1,000 steel, a whole bunch of processing units. So I can feed some of this by hand. And you could say, hey, Russ, why in the world are you feeding all this by hand? Wasn't the whole point to do it in a machine where you didn't have to do it by hand? Well, and that's partially true. However, the real reason I did it here was basically because it's so hard to get everything fitting into your inventory all at the same time in order to make that rocket silo. And so by basically having it inside a machine, what we're doing here is that we're having a collection place where we can dump off a whole bunch of different materials. All right, we need some more blue. We're gonna need some more pipe. I've got pipe. I've got some pipe. What else are we waiting on here? We need more steel. Pipe's gonna come pretty quick. Electric engines, we're actually getting pretty close on. All right, so we've got enough electric engines now. Put in a little bit more steel. All right. My son was asking, why am I building so many green research? It's basically because I was collecting too many belts and inserters in my inventory. So I was just going to throw them into research temporarily. So my son pointed out that I had made a serious design mistake here in that rocket fuel is not actually a better way to fuel things than solid fuel. So if we go take a look here, it takes 10 solid fuel to make rocket fuel. Actually, we can do it here. All right, so rocket fuel. It has a fuel value of 100 megajoules. Wait a minute, yeah, I think I got this right. 100 megajoules, but it takes 10 solid fuel to do it. But each of those solid fuel had 12 megajoules. So we can actually get better efficiency if we use ordinary. Actually, I can just reuse the same machine. We can get better efficiency if we use solid fuel instead of rocket fuel. So what we'll do here is we'll follow this to the place where it goes. And then we'll redirect our various splitters to look for solid fuel instead of rocket fuel. Now, the other thing we got to deal with here, I have committed the cardinal sin of Factorio. And that is allowing yourself to run completely dry of some resource. And so what we're going to find when we go look at it is that I've got no stone left in the belts at all. And what I should have done was I should have caught that all early. I should have caught that in time to have a train system that was collecting it all for me, but I didn't make that choice. And so now I have to deal with the fact that I've got entire production lines that are just offline entirely. All right, so now we're going to have solid fuel coming in. Now, rocket fuel for trains actually isn't a bad idea because where rocket fuel does excel, it doesn't excel in terms of efficiency, but it does excel in terms of total output per unit. And so you can store a lot more value in rocket fuel than you could in comparable amount of solid fuel. So if you're on belts where you can have a continual stream of things, solid fuel makes a lot of sense. But if you are loading up something like a train, then it makes sense to have rocket fuel. In addition, rocket fuel will also make the train a lot faster than solid fuel does. All right, so we'll set that for deconstruction later. All right, so now we should be getting... Yeah, we still got lingering bits of rocket fuel coming here. We should get solid fuel coming soon enough. So let's go up here. Let's go down the belt. And we'll change this to expect solid fuel. And here, and here. Both of these. We got a couple more here. There. Oh. Yeah, that's quite a line there. There we go. I think that might be the last time that that fuel gets used. Still got lingering bits of coal sitting in my inventory at various places. Or not in the inventory, but sitting on the belts. Alright. We'll mark that. Do we have any other places where we're looking for... Oh, we do. This is making what? Why did we have rocket fuel coming here? Oh, because it used to be coal. Right, right, okay. Alright, I think that's everything. And so now what we need to do is we need to get our... curious how this is doing. We need to get stone online. So that's making concrete. That's the wrong one. So here we're just waiting for steel. So it would be nice to collect large amounts of steel. And we're mostly going to let that run. That's actually getting close to done. All right, so... let's dump off that iron ore before I forget about it. And the extra coal that we don't need. And I got a little bit of extra brick. Okay. We'll put this down. And we want to have... oh, we do have a little bit of solid fuel here. Alright, so we're going to head over... to where those mines were, because we did have a little bit of stone capacity here. We'll set up a stone train. I think the stone was the third line. Yeah, that's the one marked for stone. Okay. So this has, if it's more than 2, all right, excellent. And here we're not going to have enough stone probably to justify a double belt, but we'll build it just in case. Let's actually keep that out of the way of where the copper line's going to be. And let's copy paste a couple of lines worth. That's actually almost enough to cover it all by itself. All right, let's get the big poles connecting over here. Let's get some of these starting to run. I would like to get all of this running, but really all I have to do in the short term is to get a little of it running. All right. All right, so this is going to go first to stone, and we'll ask for full cargo. We do need to give it a little bit of fuel. So we can back it. All right. Let's see. That should be good. Actually, we probably need to get like one thing of fuel. We'll just take half for simplicity. There we go. This is, oh, it's currently turned off because of the circuit condition, which is exactly what it ought to be doing. Okay. This is going to go to stone here. And then let's go ahead and drive our way down. Let's see, where does stone come in? Stone is sort of over here. The existing stone line, such as it was, there it is. That's where the stone line came in. So I think what I'll do, I could just jump it in here. Here, let's plan that out. All right, so if we took all of this and we said we're going to move it down a layer, then we'll put a belt here. And let's see here. Let's put an underground belt right here. And then what we'll have is we'll have a stone line coming up. So we'll run stone sideways like that. Break that, copy, paste. All right, so that's where the stone line needs to connect eventually. So let's go and we'll just put in, do we have space for that station? Let's go ahead and send ourselves there. All right, let's see if we can copy that whole station. Let's see if it fits over here. It does. It fits, except that it's going to be really hard to get the track connected. So we could do something like this. But again, we're going to have track connection problems. So I'm going to do something. Yeah, I don't like it, but it works. All right, and we don't have tracks because we're out of stone. Beautiful. Do I have any stone or track sitting around? I've got a little bit sitting in there. Let's go ahead and we'll send it into that place there. All right, what do we have here? Ah, so this is the fuel in. And yes, all of that is fast belts, which I'm not making use of right now. But, oh, wow, that was close. Gotta be a little bit more careful there. All right, so I am waiting to make more tracks, but I also need more steel if I want to make more tracks. Now, did this all work out the way I expected? Green comes down, it's going to loop around, it'll join with the red over here. And we probably want to, there we go. That will just pick up where the stone line used to connect. All right. It's a little bit of a kludge, but it'll work. All right, so let's go make sure that the belts are. You need to get the belts cleaned up properly when you do this sort of thing, um, so that you don't end up with deadlocks, right? Because we had red on the wrong side, so if we didn't have green coming in like you need to, it can just cause your system to stop functioning. Let's see, we're going to need power over there. I added these vertical uh, inserters as well, because what I was finding was that everything tended to end up with a fair number of resources over here, or actually what was happening was in a whole bunch of the different rows here, and then I was ending up with some of my resources not being matched with other ones. By having a second row of vertical inserters, now eventually everything fills into here, if nothing else. And there it can be backlog at other places, but it will at least come here, make progress if possible. I'm noticing I'm not researching anything, so let's go ahead. Let's get logistics system. I was also looking here. I have the technology to launch the rocket, but I also want to put the satellite on it. And so what I notice is this actually requires a little bit of research. That's 2,000. That's be really expensive. But we need this and also that and this and then this. So we'll queue up all that stuff. So we'll have space research, white research that we can work on. And we will also we will be able to eventually set up everything where we can actually launch a rocket with a satellite on top. All right, so we've got those. Let's go make up some more rails. And hopefully we should be able to get the stone in here relatively soon. We got most of this built. That's our fuel line coming in. We don't have the fuel line attached yet. Do that right here. If we do that, we're only stealing the coal. It's not ideal, but we'll let it be for now. Yes, Factorio is always this balance of sometimes you're working really, really hard to be optimal, and sometimes you're just saying, here's the trashy temporary thing I can live with for now. And you kind of find yourself going back and forth between the two. Have to put an underground belt to make space for that signal. And now we've got the ability to go into a stone mine. Only this will be misnamed. And we want this to be while the stone is less than that. That is the iron ore train. Alright, that stone train. That seems to be working. We want to add a weight condition for empty cargo and inactivity. And we've got 2,000 stone inbound, I think. This will be really awesome to see this come back online. That whole patch, almost 1 million stone. That should be enough. Oh, we're not actually getting it. Okay. Oh, because the stone's not available yet. The reason we got the train here was because it was waiting to do anything. Help me, please. Anything but just try to go to that stone patch. Because it's not currently set there. Right now we're sitting at about 1,000 stone. All right. Well, let's go build up the rest of these stone mines we were planning on. All right. Got everything except the power lines here. Let's see, can we rescue a few? Reclaim a few for this use? That'll work. All right. So that stone mine, we want to make this better. There we go. So that should get a lot more throughput. Let's bring that train back over here. We'll use it for transportation, as is my wont. So I've got Handy Hands auto building stack inserters, and so you'll notice as I walk by every once in a while it auto deploys a few stack inserters into the picture. All right, so we've got stone running. Would be wise to plan ahead and get some copper. Still got 100,000 there, so we're not in urgent need, but it would be good to plan ahead. I think right now what I'm going to do though is I'm going to look at to see how that rocket silo is going. I kind of want to shut it down. I don't know, is it consuming? I guess the steel is pretty valuable. So once it builds the first rocket, I really don't want it to be building more. We'll use the steel for other purposes. You know, maybe someday in some crazy future, we might want to build more. And there's a rocket silo. There we go. And let's just reclaim all that stuff. Well, I guess I'll give it the blue. I'll give it the engines. I don't want that much pipe cluttering up my inventory. Okay, so I'll give it some of it. Don't need the concrete. I'll use the concrete later, I think. I just don't want it to keep eating up steel like that. All right, so when we put down the rocket silo, now the rocket silo is going to be making rocket parts. All right, so let's go take a look here. Not rocket silo. We want the not the rocket. What's the rocket control unit is part of? Ah, there we are. Rocket part. I don't know why that didn't come up in FNEI. It's rocket control units plus low density structures plus rocket fuel. So we've made rocket fuel already. We can pipe that over or belt that over. We've got low density structure. Rocket control unit we haven't used for anything yet. So rocket control unit is processing unit plus speed module. So we've got a and speed, that's a normal speed module. So what we can do here is we can copy paste some significant portion of this. We don't want all of it exactly as is, but a lot of it we can keep. All right, so this is going to be our next big project. And we want, let's see, down here. Only this time looks like green circuits are closer. All right, red and green circuits going over here. This is now going to make which module? Speed module. There we go. That's going to go there. Speed module. What are we going to use the speed module for? Assembly machine 3. Okay, we don't really need that on the belt. So And we've got that. We want the low density structure. So I think what we can do, we are going to want to have the satellite. And the satellite's going to have some complex pieces to it. I guess I'll put it on the belt because I'm planning to have the satellite running as well. In order to do the satellite, we're going to need the solar panel and the accumulator. So let's take a look if that's the whole thing. Satellite radar is not yet automated. So rocket fuel is part of it. Processing unit, low density. Okay, so we need to automate solar panels. We know we're going to need that. Copper, steel, and a whole bunch of electronic circuits. All right. All right, electronic circuits. Copper and steel, is that the right order? No, steel's a lot closer. That's where steel comes out. So that's what we need to copy for that. This is where copper comes out. Very good. And we're all out of splitters. We're out of splitters because we don't have enough copper. Technically, what we're really short on in order to make the splitters is the electronic circuits. You'll find that very often where if you find yourself running out of copper for something, usually what's really happening is that you're out of electronic circuits for it. Not always, but often. All right, so we've got all of those. To copy paste that. This we'll definitely want to have a chest once the logistics system is up and running, because we'll be having the construction robots build lots and lots of solar panels eventually, someday. So logistics system, why is research frozen? That's very unexpected. Logistics system takes blue and yellow science. So yellow science, yeah, we're short on yellow science, and that's because yellow science includes, let's see, that's silver. I'm not actually sure why these, well, this is interesting. So it looks like we are making this, we're just making it slowly. This would be a good time for me actually to, put this on a better belt system, or I can do the cheapo thing. That'll give me a small performance boost. But wait a minute, that's not actually what's holding us up. What's holding us up is lack of copper going into low density structures. I think what's going on there is that we have copper, but it's all getting chewed up for other things. We have a shortage of copper in terms of the total output. Because what we've got here, yeah, that's a fledgling little line. All right, so what I'm going to do here is when we're offline, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build a connection to the copper mines, another copper mine train that'll give us that throughput. Right now, I'm going to continue. I'm going to configure we've got This is where we'll build solar panels. We'll want to build accumulators, iron plate, and battery. That's so easy. Let's see. We're actually going to put the solar panels on the bus. Let's see. Batteries we haven't used in an age, right? Or no. Actually, we've used them more recently than we used iron. All right. Where is it here? Batteries. Iron plate. Nope. Ah. There we go. That. Now copy. Batteries are up here. Just 2 slots north of copper. And iron is 3 north of that. No. No, I'm completely wrong here. Because I've used iron real recently. Oh, I'm blind. Okay. So... there we go. And we are short on copper again because of electronic circuits. All right, so we'll eat up all that so we can build some of those. This is where we'll build accumulators. This we can copy. We want to copy everything except for that long inserter. This will give us what we want for that. All right. And so what else do we need here? To make a satellite, we need accumulators. The rocket fuel is already on the line. Radar, iron gear, and electronic circuit. So we know iron is already on the belt. We know electronic circuits are nearby. Iron gears are a lot further back, but we can also get those off the belt. Iron gears are all the way up there. We're fighting for resources again. I'd like to get this finished, but it is finding myself spending a lot of time just making these waiting to craft things, so don't want to bore you too much in the episode, so we'll stop that pretty soon. Alright, so we've got all of that connected up. And radar, 10 iron plate. Alright, so we'll make this the isolated one. We'll just follow the same pattern we did last time. This is how we will make All right, so this is where we'll make radar. This one I think is we can already put in. There we go. We only want a single stack of this. We actually probably want more than a single stack of accumulators. Accidentally pasted when I should have copied. Come on. There we go. So that will be... Wait a minute. This needs to go like this. There you go. And everything should work. All right, and once we have that, then that allows us to build all of those things. Rocket fuel is going to be part of the satellite. It's also part of the rocket. Same with low density structures. We'll go here since it seems to be hard to search for. Rocket. We don't have the rocket control unit yet. All right, so I think what we'll do is we'll build those other pieces as part of the next episode. So it's been fun, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.